Hi, welcome. I just remembered something. Hang on just a second while Melissa's sharing me in. Before, I would have probably got a call. Who knows? Not usually, but maybe. Anyway, I'm set now. So let me get us brought up where I can see comments. So we're here. Yep. All right, I'm there. I'm ready to go. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Good afternoon, girl. Welcome to our IOD Summer 2025 event. I'm so excited to be part of it. And I've got 3 cute projects lined up. I have no idea whether we'll get through all of them or not, but we'll give it a try. We'll do what we can. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Heather. Hey, Miss Melissa. Thank you, girl. So I am first gonna do this mold, these cute roosters. It's called Chanticleer. I love these roosters. And I'm using a cutting board I got from Melissa, Junk and Craft Treasures. And while I was sitting here a few minutes ago, I mixed up some Deco Art burnt umber with some water and created a stain, and I've done the sides, but I'm gonna do the top real quick, and then we'll mix up the resin for our molds. I think this is going to be a cute project, what I have in mind. I hope. So, I'm excited to use this cutting board. I've been holding on to it. And I am anxious to use it. So we'll get this slopped on there. I hope you guys are having great weather. Oh, thanks, Melissa. I think I have a cute idea for the molds. I think I do. We'll see. Hey, Brenda, how are you? Elizabeth, I got it from Melissa at Junk and Craft Treasures. They come as a set of 2. This is the bigger one. The smaller one is there behind me with patriotic. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I did that one this past week. And I've been wanting to use this one, but I kind of just thought I'd hold on to it for this event. All right, I'm going to wipe this down just a little, as much as it'll wipe. See, I've got some shop towels here. All right, I think that's good enough. That can dry for a few minutes. I'll lay it aside, in fact, and we'll do our mold. And these molds are so cool because they have the measurements of what you need for your resin on the sides, which is very helpful. Let's see, where's my resin? Okay, got too much stuff, you guys, too much stuff. Anyway, I think I'm mixing up too much, and my cups, I don't like the measurements that are on them, and so even when I figure it out on here, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going with it. I made some of these the other day just playing with them, and they're so cute. I'm gonna have to order some more resin. That's way too much, I'm pretty sure, but anyway. Better too much than not enough. I'm gonna start this resin that I'm using is the aluminite or whatever it is, quick casting resin, turns white. So I'm gonna mix this. Alexa, start timer for 30 seconds, and if I mess up all your Alexas, I'm sorry. Hey Alexa, start timer for 30 seconds.
Good afternoon, Sharon.
Finally.
30 seconds, starting now.
I probably got you guys going and not mine. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Hey, Mary Lynn. You're watching as you ride down the road headed to Dad's in Auburn, Alabama. Cool. You're going for the day. Yeah, a 5-hour drive. I can relate to that. Good, good. I'm glad you're going to get to watch us. I love this resin. I like the clay too, but Alexa, stop. But I especially like the resin. All right, let's get these poured. I'm silent, concentrating. And I think I'm going to use all the different pieces on the mold, or at least that's what I'm thinking. And I'm overflowing sometimes, and that's okay. If you catch it before it gets real hard, it's not hard to get that off. Whew, I really overdid it there. All right. This sets up in 5-10 minutes, and I've got way too much resin, and I knew I would, and that's okay. All right, I'm going to lay that aside, or scoot it aside for a second, and go back to my board. It's not scooted aside far enough. Go. There we go. All right. It's pretty well dry. I think it's good enough. Yep. I'm going to use some, wherever it is here on my table, and I organized stuff. There it is behind my resin so that I could find it today. Yeah, well, you can see that's not working for me. Anyway, I'm going to use some Folk Art Vintage White. Come on out. You could use rice paper or whatever for this step. I had them look in mind, and I didn't have rice paper to do it with, so I'm gonna use a stencil real quick but first of all, I'm gonna use my chip brush and just kind of paint this white. And it doesn't need to be perfect, and it won't be. And that's just part of the plan. So we have got a beautiful day here today, a little cool. The high's only going to be 66, and it's pretty windy. But the sun is so pretty, and no storms for a few days. All right, that is good enough. I'll lay that aside. I don't know if I'm going to need white again. No, not vintage white. I don't think I am. But anyway, I'm going to dry this real quick. Hey, Donna, how are you? And Connie and Chris, hello. And Terry. I'm brave using resin without gloves. This kind, it's easy. It's easy. Let's see if I missed anybody else. Hey, Carol, how are you? And Delane, yeah, hi, and Donnell, good to see you guys. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I will go back and read the comments after the live and answer any questions. You just ordered everything, Delane? Yeah, It's an awesome collection. It really is. I hope I get to do all 3 projects. We'll see how it goes. If not today, I'll do them. So, I did put what I'm using in the description of the live and my affiliate link. Almost there. Almost. Get back down to the bottom. Hey, Nicole from Netherlands. Awesome. Hey, Lisa. You'll watch the beginning of the live. Good. It's almost dry. In fact, I think it's good. And I'm going to use this stencil, and you could use any background you want, but like I said, I have a look in mind. And my resin is almost ready to take up. See, when it turns white, you can get it out of there. So we'll do that first. Let's see. Just kind of bend the molds and let them pop out of there. Easy enough to do, and they're still kind of soft, and that's okay. That way, if I've got excess or anything, it's easy to get it off of there. And on some of the pieces, I definitely have excess. Come on out, Rooster. Look at the details on him. Isn't that cool? So very cool. The other one out. And generally let these set 5 to 10 minutes. I think I'm rushing it a wee bit, but that's okay. Okay, and my other rooster. They're so cute. And I know I want to use these 2 pieces. I don't know about the middle pieces. Come on. It's not as hard as I'm making it look like, I'm sure, to get these out. In fact, if I'd let it sit just a few more minutes, it would have been easier. But I want to use those little flourishes. And I didn't run over on those, so they're fine. These 2, got a little bit of excess right along the edge. You probably can't see that, but I can get that off with my X-Acto knife later, and I'm not going to use those 2 right now anyway. But you can see they pop out real easy. Not much cleanup or anything at all. All right, let's do this. I'm going to first, I think, put some tape on my edges because I don't want to go all the way to the edge. So about a tape's, or about the width of a tape. I don't want to stencil on. This is an old stencil. I don't think Essential Stencil even has it anymore, so. But like I said, you could use a rice paper or whatever. I just didn't have anything that was just what I had in mind, so. All right, that'll work. So I'm gonna line it up along the bottom edge of my tape. I think that's pretty well centered. I'm gonna want to move this up just a little bit though, in order to not have a half of a block. I still don't have it all. There we go. That's good. That'll work. All right. Am I going to be able to tape it down? Let's see. Yeah, I can at the bottom. I need a few more things in my way. Let's see. Okay. Just going to stick a piece of tape over the end to kind of hold it. And up here at the top. I can get the yellow tape easier. I'll just use that. Just going to double that under and put it up there under the edge, and that should be good. Now, I'm going to use Fusion Mineral Paint Fort York Red. But I want to kind of dry brush it up. Well, you dry brush from the stencil anyway, but I want it particularly dry. Yep, see you soon, Melissa. I'll be watching, girl. Let's see, a stencil brush. And I'm working the paint up into the bristles. And I know this live isn't about stencils, so I'm not going to take up a lot of time with that. But it's pretty dry. And we'll see what we get. I'm just lightly doing a circle swirling motion. And I'll apply more pressure as I use the paint out of my brush. This is just going to be a quick thing so we can get on to the fun roosters. I just thought that the roosters on a red check thing would be real kitcheny. And I don't care if my squares are perfect because I'm gonna sand it a little and probably end up putting some Kills Dark wax on it. All right, I think, yeah, that'll do it. Let me get this off of there. And my tape off of there. I'm gonna lay that stencil on the floor. I don't need it again. It's off my table. And then I'm gonna make sure it's good and dry. And it is, that didn't take much because there wasn't that much paint on there. Now, take my sander. edges. And wipe that back a little. Yeah, that's the look I'm going for. And a little bit of Kills Dark Wax. Not a heap, just a little. Thanks, Lisa. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. So coming up next will be Joey with Created in Awe. Booksy and Buttons will be on later. Melissa will be on later from Junk and Craft Treasures. And it's just going to be a good day of crafting, I think. All right. That'll do it. Now, I want my roosters and my little flourishes. I'll lay this aside for a sec. To be black with gold leaf. I'm thinking that'll be cute. I'm going to use a stencil brush to put the paint on there because it's stiff and it'll get down in all the little places pretty good. And I'm going to make a mess all over my puppy pad. So. Oh, that black's gonna look good, I think. I need a fresh shop towel. Try to make sure I get the edges. I don't want it to be white. Okay. I think that I have the white. I don't know about totally covered. I'm going to get a little brush. Some of these places. The stencil brush just didn't get in there. Okay, I think that one's good. Do the next one. I'm going to go ahead and get in the deepest places with this brush. So, you can't wait to watch Melissa me either. I'm sure she'll have something really cute. And if you've never watched Booksy and Buttons, you should catch her. She's awesome. As is Joey. She'll have some, everybody will have something good. It's going to be a good event. Yeah, I'm going to get the a stencil brush and then go back and get what I couldn't. I don't have enough patience to do it that way very long. Anyway, you guys, I know Sarah with Booksy and Buttons will be lots of rustic goodness. She does awesome stuff, so. As does Melissa and Joanne. So yeah, you guys catch it all. You just need to catch it all, whether it's live or replay. I think there's only a couple little spots I need to get. All right. Love these roosters. I see more now that I didn't yet. Okay. These two pieces will be fast. Painting my fingers, because what is crafting if you don't get yourself in a mess? Aha, I do see it where I had to run over there. Could also do this with an X-Acto knife, but I thought it'd be quicker just do scissors. Got it. Right. I need my little brush again. All right, I think I got that. I'm gonna make sure they're all dry. I think my roosters probably are well on a mess. My first one, I'm gonna take some gold leaf. And one of my small stencil brushes, which this gold leaf is oil based, so there is that. Doesn't that make him look cool? So cool. I'm dropping him. Got it on my arm too, so I'll be covered in oil base. I've got a doctor's appointment this evening, but anyway. Hopefully I can get it off before then. I know I can. Flourishes. I didn't get all the edges on that one. All right. And the last one. Okay. Now for the fun. All right. Looking at these upside down, but let's see. Try to look on the screen to see if I've got them halfway where I want them. Turn it around in a second and look at it. Yeah, it's okay. And I'm just going to use hot glue for now, or do I want? I think I'll use stick fast. That'll work fast, and it'll add to the mess on my fingers. Me and stick fast, yeah. Anyway, but it works very well. And I think hot glue would have been fine for this in the house for sure, because it wouldn't be in any extreme heat or cold where it would come loose. I'm going to stand and look over the top of that. Make sure I've got those two on there. How am I doing for time? Yeah, not awesome, not bad. Okay. And then I've got stuff to make a bow. Do I want to do that? Yeah, maybe real quick. I've torn some strips of homespun. Get some jute down here. There's a piece. It'll work fine. Let's see. And I'm using some of the same colors that I think will go with what I've done. I'm using a Bodabra and I'm just layering them in here. Let's see. Yeah, there's some black checked. I got where I don't put bows on very often anymore, but I think this one will look good with a bow. I think that'll do it. Well, no, I've got some more red. Okay, let's see, let's use this. There, I'll end it with that. Bring it up and tie it. Shake it. Get ravelings everywhere. Oh, let's see what I think, whether I want this or I don't. Yeah, I think I do. All right, I'll glue that. And a button to the center. Coconut button, kind of rustic looking. And a couple little pieces of greenery. I think. And maybe a couple more even. Some glue on here. And maybe two more. This is some greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby. Oop. Dropping hot glue on it and on my finger. One last piece of greenery. All right, I think that'll do. Okay, you guys, there's our roosters, our Chanticleer rooster molds. I think that's so cute. I love those roosters. All right, I've got, how much time have I got? Not a whole heap. So I think I'm gonna do, I was gonna do a paint inlay, but I'll do that on a different wire. I've got another cutting board. This one is from Walmart. It is Yeah, the roosters can stand. They can. They're awesome. All right. It's 12 by, I think, 8. Yep, 12 by 8. All right. I'm going to stain the top again with my burn umber. My burn umber's kind of got thick, but it'll be okay. I could add more water, but I'm thinking this will be fine, and I'm kind of in a hurry. Almost done staining. I think my fingers are never going to be the same, you guys. Pretty bad. All right, let me wipe that just a second. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm done with it. My last shop towel on the roll, but I've got another roll sitting there. You guys who know me know I love coffee, so this one is going to use one of the Home Sweet Home transfers. Ow, my finger's stuck in there. Okay, got it. Got it. I'm going to use But First Coffee. And I am going to use some stencils just real quick again. I'm not going to stain the bottom of my board, but I'm going to, I hope, kind of, sort of, center these. It would be best if I figure out where the center of my board is. Just real quick, like I never measure, but I don't want them off to one side really badly. All right, and I'm gonna just take the middle of the middle cup and go that way. And hope that works out somewhat. Will it? Let me try one other thing. That handle too. It doesn't, yeah. Yeah, that ought to be pretty close, I think. We'll see. All right, I'm going to use some burnt umber, but this is not going to be thinned. It's just going to be burnt umber. All I got to do is find the bottle, bury it on my table. Come on, burnt umber. There it is. Don't need that again. Don't need that again. Don't need that again. Get those all out of my way. Hey, Jody, welcome. Hey, Carla. Good to see you guys. I got all absorbed in what I was doing. I'm loving those roosters. So I was all involved in that. Let's see. A clean stencil brush and some burnt umber. it's somewhat centered, but if it isn't, I'll fix it later. You know, it's only paint. It can be sanded off and redid, so if need be. Yeah, not bad. All right, now, got my but first coffee. I shouldn't have cut that border on me. Well, I use that sometime, but I can do it anyway. I saved it. I didn't cut it all up. So, I do love IOD rub-on transfers. Cute, cute, cute. And I got paint on my fingers and on my board. Before I go any further. Yep, that seems okay. Take my embossing tool. How am I doing? Yeah, I'm okay. Went all over it. Now I'm going to go back and concentrate on one edge. I love the font on this. Hey, Becca. Good to see you, girl. It's adhering really well. If you see that you've got some that didn't adhere that's still on your plastic, you can just lay it back down and rub some more. Almost got it all. With 10 minutes to spare, I might actually be able to do that paint inlay, or most of the way anyway. Screech. All right. Isn't that cute? But first, coffee. I've got stuff to put a bow on that one too. I'm not sure if I will or if I won't. I know I'm not going to right this second. So I have got one of my $5 frames from Walmart that I was going to do a paint inlay and might actually have time to do it. Just might. I'll lay it along one edge. And I'm going to trace. What I need. And this is from the Ditzy Blooms paint inlays. I think this is gorgeous. Little roses and maybe, yeah, I think it's roses. Anyway, little flowers. And gold stripes. I'm obsessed with their paint inlays. I haven't done one on a frame before, but we're going to give it a shot. Hope I get it cut right. I'm watching the time because I don't want to run over. All right, and I've already base coated my board. Let's see if that's gonna fit. Yep, pretty well. All right, I'm going to put another coat of Snow White chalk paint on it, just not real heavy, but just wet enough that I can lay my paint inlay on it. But first of all, I'm gonna spray the back side of which is the grid side of my paint inlay with water. And then I'm gonna lay it down while I'm painting that on the grid side. I'm gonna lay it over there, because otherwise my paint might stick. All right, I'm gonna quickly put a coat of white chalk paint. I like chalk paint for paint inlays. You can do it with other paints, but I thought this would make a cute kind of vintage looking frame. Would be cute for a young girl's picture or wedding picture, or some such something. All right, I think I have wet paint all over it. So I'm going to take my paint inlay and I'm going to lay it paint side down, which means grid side up. which is the opposite of the way I had it laying. Because once you get it wet, it's kind of hard to tell which is the grid side and which is the paint side. For me, anyway, I think. All right. I'm going to take my brayer. All right, I'm going to quickly dry that. You haven't tried paint inlays yet, Maggie? Oh, they're awesome. They are awesome. So I'm going to get this all the way dry. And these can be reused. The more you reuse them, the fainter they are. I hope that I'm not hurrying this one too much. All right, I am going to spray it real quick. It'll have to be real quick. So I may be hurrying this one too much. I hope not. I hope it turns out. All right, I'll let that sit just about 1 second. Yeah, another addiction. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. It is. All right, I'm going to start peeling it up just because time, you know. So it's not perfect. I did hurry it, but I think that makes it look even more vintage. It's not good on this side, but anyway, I will add a little Kills Dark wax to it, and it'll be nice and vintage looking. So it worked. They work better than what this one does. I did hurry it, but you get the idea. I think they're cute, real cute, quick, simple, easy. And that's the main clue. When you wet it that last time, you should leave it for a minute or two. And we didn't really have time to leave it for a minute or two because I've already took up all my time. So anyway, you guys, we've got that. We've got our But First Coffee, which is from the Home Sweet Home Rub-Ons. And then the first one that I did was the Chanticleer roosters, which I love, and these roosters will stand on their own. I think they are just super cute. I did them with black with gold leaf. So anyway, you guys, I hope you like these. I hope it gave you some ideas. And yeah, I kind of like the look too, Kathy. I think it looks rustic. Anyway, you guys, stay tuned. Lots of good things to come. And I really appreciate you joining me today. Appreciate your time. I know you're all busy, and I always appreciate your support. So thank you, guys. Love you, and I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, bye-bye.